Ian Garry responds to the criticism he's received from the trash talk to Neil Magny and Jeff Neal. Ian said, "When I hear a grown man sit there and say he's gotten accustomed to whooping that ass, or that kind of ass whooping, and he's got a 3-year-old at home, Neil, you've just done yourself in. I'm absolutely going to sit there and hound you about that, because it's your words, your actions. I'm just putting them out there for the world in a different way." Jeff Neal, there's no f***ing argument. Jeff Neal f***ed up his lifetime and got a mugshot. Absolutely, I'm going to use and abuse that if I'm your opponent. Absolutely. Jeff Neal pulled out because of mind games, because of a f***ing t-shirt that I made and sold on Instagram. I got so deep in that man's mind that he didn't even make it to the fight. He was so pissed off, but he has nobody else to blame other than himself. That's it.
Daniel Rodriguez reveals he is no longer suspended by USADA. He posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Breaking news. Suspension has been lifted. Supplements were tainted. I'm still in the UFC and looking to fight as soon as possible."
Yo, I got some amazing news, everybody. This is so major. I am no longer suspended by USADA. I am cleared and good to go. The supplements that I sent in came back positive for banned substances. So that means I am no longer suspended. I can get a fight at any point now. And everybody that was doubting me, thinking I was taking juice and trying to be a cheater, y'all, I understand. Y'all didn't know anything, but I'm letting you guys know right now, I ain't no cheater when it comes to this fighting. So stay tuned for a possible matchup. I have amazing news coming, so just keep y'all fingers crossed and y'all see me soon. Let's go.
Robert Whittaker gives his take on the drama within the UFC heavyweight division. Rob sees where Tom Aspinall is coming from, saying that John Jones should be stripped so the division isn't held up. However, Rob says the UFC just can't strip John because of how great he is.
I think this was the talk we had the week before.
Yeah.
This was exactly what we said. We're like, if you want to move the division along, you have to strip John to keep things flowing.
Yeah.
But how do you strip John? You can't. Like, he is a legend of the game, probably the best mixed martial artist to have ever lived.
Yeah.
And he's done amazing, amazing things for the sport, for the divisions. As an athlete, he's sensational. And like, that's the only way you can respond to that tweet he put up. Like he's got a point.
Yeah.
Like that was our exact argument. That was our exact argument. So what you do is, I don't know what you do. I'm glad I'm not the one who has to make the decision, because you can't strip John, but you can't freeze the division for another 8 months. Or can you? You're going to see a defending interim title contender.
So weird.
And that's that.
Can you drop the name interim from Aspinall's title and then have a true unification like the WWE does it? Could that be cool? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think of something.
I'm for that. It's like the return of the king.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
If John Jones is there, I'm watching it no matter what anyway. Everyone else is too.
Yeah.
But that's just
fair.
that.
Deontay Wilder reveals his requirements in order to accept an MMA fight against Francis Ngannou. Speaking to Lucky Block, Deontay said, "I'd have to hear more about these mixed rules. I wouldn't mind fighting in the octagon and stuff, but I'd have to understand how the mixed rules are distributed. What do they mean, mixed rules? What can and can't we do? But I know for sure, one fight in boxing and then one MMA fight. The rules are what they are. We've got rules in boxing, we've got rules in mixed martial arts, but when you're mixing both together, now you have to come up with your own rules, and it can kind of get frustrating or confusing. But it could be something that's new, and I'm all about change. I'd need to hear it. Both parties would need to hear it, and go from there." Michael Bisping reacts to Sean Strickland running into Ian Garry. Bisping also gives his take on Ian Garry threatening lawsuits.
And listen, no, fair enough. If Ian Garry's talking online, which he has been, and Sean's been talking, and granted, you might be able to sway an argument in Ian Garry's favour, saying that he shouldn't be talking about his wife, which I totally understand. But they're both fighters. They're both very good fighters. They're both similar weight classes. Sean's weight class above. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago when it first happened. You know, Ian going down this like threatening lawsuits and things like that, that never made sense to me. What he should do is go out there and try and beat Vicente Luque, and then get on the microphone and call out Sean Strickland. Say, hey, listen, I'm now 7 in a row, okay? But I'm in line for a title fight. But never mind, Leon Edwards. I'm moving up. I want Sean Strickland. You've been talking You've been talking about my wife, blah, 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 all the rest of it. And if Sean gets through Drickus, you never know. Crazier things have happened. That is UFC ground. You know what I'm saying? And then the reality is the UFC now, Dana's always said he's dealt with this for however many years it is now since they bought the company. You know, a lot of crazy goes down. You've got, I don't know what the roster is. I think it's like 750, something like that. Let's just say it's 800 people. It's got 800 people that are quote unquote cage fighters for a living. You know what I mean? So goes down, people see each other, a little bit of tempers flare, people have to get separated. It's not too often it escalates into a full-on fight. And most of the time when it does, they end up clinching, which is bizarre. But anyway, they don't want to be doing that at the PI because that will cause
Ian Garry appears to be concerned with coming to America for UFC 296 after all of the drama regarding his wife over the last few weeks. Ian says not being able to react to people in person is going to wind him up.
Excited for UFC 296. I think it's a massive card. A card with a lot of big names, a lot of big matchups. I'm a little bit cautious about going to America for the safety of my family with all going on online. To protect my wife, to protect my child, to protect myself. I'm not remotely concerned or worried about a fight. Fight's fun. Fight's easy for me. It's always something I enjoy. It's something I love. The build up to fight week, I love. Press conferences, weigh-ins, everything. I love it. It's energy. I thrive off it. But me not being able to react to people in person, it's going to wind me up a little bit.
Colby Covington has finally reacted to all of the recent drama regarding Ian Garry. As expected, Colby went off on him. Colby went on to say, "All I'll say about Ian is if you step in shoes, Junior, you better wipe that shit off. I've had threats, people wanting to kill me after Brazil. I never turned off my social media. I never turned off my comments. Look at that little Ian Garry. He's turning off his comments like a little fucking sensitive soy boy. You know he ain't tough. He ain't the biggest, baddest fighter in the division. The guy's a fucking joke. He's a little fucking kid, so I don't have anything to say about him. You'll see at the press conference. But my business and my attention is focused towards Leon Scott, and that's all I care about right now."
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos.
Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Eddie Alvarez calling out the UFC over the leaked emails between Dana White and Joe Silva. It's from JR. It says what Eddie Alvarez said is true, and it should be a bigger deal. The second one's from Danvers. It says, does anyone on earth apart from Dan Henderson really think Dan Henderson would have beat John Jones? And the final one's from Swifty123. It says, all those leaked emails do is expose what we already knew and put into perspective how badass Diaz is for overcoming the system.
Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.